Alright, so this is the Lee Handpress kit. I ended up getting this so I can reload in the range, so I can work up loads in my indoor 24-hour range, and so I can do seating depths for my rifles and stuff. Or I can just reload upstairs without being stationed downstairs. So this is what you get. I got the one that comes with the priming assembly, the funnel, and the lube. So I already unboxed it, tested it, reloaded a few. I did some 38s, 357s. I mean, they came out pretty good. This is what you get. This does come with the breech lock system. I would recommend getting extra ones of these, because what you could do, I already got my dies set up for 9mm, which I'll redo it again, is you can just grab them, drop them, boom, done. Instead of doing the lock-in rings, I mean, you could do either ones. So, but to me, I had more extras of these. The other ones I use for my actual single stage press. This, I'm just going to use them for this. So there's that. Comes with only one of these. It comes with, obviously, the instructions, funnel, the lube, and the priming station. This is all the priming assembly, small, large, and then this guy will go up on the top, and I'll show you how to use all that. So there's that. The only thing I'm not going to use is the lube. I have my own. Put this guy back there. I'm sure it works just fine. I just prefer my Imperial sizing wax. But I won't be using that for any pistol. So this is all you get. You get all of this right here. So, but already, I'm going to show you how to set up some 9mm dies. This is all Lee. And then we'll reload a few 15 rounds of 147 grain. So I'm going to try to start working up a load for my can when it gets here in about a month or so. So we'll go from there. Alright. So first things first, you already seen the unboxing of the press. I got my dies right here. These are 9mm Lee dies. I'll be showing you step by step on how to set these. I had this already recorded, but I don't know what happened to the video. So your dies will come with the show holder, 4 dies, depending if you buy the 4 or 3 die set. I recommend the 4 just because it has the factory crimp die. So you'll take your breech lock, bushing, put that guy out in the air. So that's on there already. You got your shell holder. Then you start screwing your die in. Now, per the instructions, you screw the die in until it touches the shell holder, and then give it maybe like an 1/8 of a turn, if that. And then you just tighten down the lock ring. But, yep, there's a 1/4 to a 1/3 more. So I just normally just do tight, back up a little bit, about right there. Then just tighten down the lock ring. There you go. You're all ready to start resizing. I got some 9mm right here. Done. And I do have a case gauge somewhere right here. Pluck it. Good. I don't really use this anymore because I just use the barrel, but you can buy one, but you don't really need it. There's 2. This resizes and decaps. And all your spent primers, they go into the tube right here. So eventually you'll have to empty it out. For some reason, some of these are kind of hard, but that's all there is. Like I say, you just dump it down. And there they all go. Toss those guys. And you're set. And this is why I say the breech lock are nice, because you could just do that. That die is set. Alright, so I'm not gonna flare first. Decide I'm gonna do the priming. So take it off. The sizing die. You gotta grab from the bottom those little knurls right there. Sometimes it's a pain in the ass. I have a little bit of little small pliers that I just grab at the bottom and I twist and it comes off just fine. But what you gotta do is obviously take the whole assembly out. Grab your priming. Put that guy on top right there. Now your shell holder actually will sit up here, and I know you gotta press a little bit. I don't know what the deal is, so I couldn't make it a little easier. Pop it in right there. There's a little bump right there that pushes it up, that holds it in place. Then you gotta look for which one's your small one, and you can normally tell because the outer wall on this one is large, thinner. This one's smaller, so this will be your small primer. Set that guy right there, and there you go. That's how you would prime. And normally what I do, I always have it on the full upstroke. Grab my primer, put it in there, back down a little bit, set it, done, primed. Like I said, you'll get a momentum. Push up, set it in, hold it, done. Now you can clean the primer pockets. I mean, you probably should, but for just plinking 9mm, I don't go into that far into it. I don't go that far into cleaning the primer pockets. Now for rifle, precision stuff, yes. I clean everything because every consistency is key for rifle stuff. For pistol, I don't worry too much. I haven't loaded 9mm in a wall in a long time. Just didn't want to waste my priming, my primers, powder, components, or nothing. I would have rather used them for my 38, 357, or rifle. That's for powder anyways. I mean, this, yeah, it's slow, but it's not terrible. I do have an RCBS Handpress, or hand priming tool, but you know, if I'm going to show the Lee Handpress how to use it and everything, and you just need minimal stuff, why would I show something else for you guys to go buy something else? Don't need it. All you need is this press, a good scale, some dies, components, and you're good. There's a few things I would recommend to get, but bare minimal is all you need. There you go. So we're all primed there. Pop your shell plate, pop your priming assembly, take that off, put this guy back on here. Now put my breech lock system back in, tighten that up. Now let's flare the case mouth. So to do that, obviously refer to your manual or your instructions to the expander die. Just screw it in until it touches the shell holder. Touching the shell holder, and then it says, then back out 1 full turn. So there's that. 1 full turn. It would be, I keep track by this right here. So that's flat. Half. 1. Now this is your expander die. It's going to expand the case neck to accept the bullet better. So we're going to start with that setting there. Still need to do a little bit more. So in order to do that, need to push down a little bit more, screw in. We'll do that much. About 1/8 or 1/4. You want it just to where it'll hold itself on there. Maybe do one more little turn. Hold that. That looks like it engaged a lot more. Right there. That should be plenty. Yep, to accept the bullet. Still make sure they're all good. Yep, perfect. Because you don't want to do a whole lot flaring it all out, because then you're going to have to go through your crimp die and you'll feel it hit the end of it, and it's just not good. You want to do just enough to where you can set it in there like that, and it's not obviously flared. You don't see the cone sticking out like that. So there's 2. Finish these off. double check. There you go. Put these guys off. So we are sized, primed, case mounts are flared to accept the new bullet. Now all we need is powder. Now for powder, I'm going to use my own data, and I'll show you, what I do to do my powder, because I got my own little scale, what I'm going to be using out there, which is this guy here. And I got my my pan, and then I'll show you how I do it. When I do my powder with the kit that I'm building a little range kit, so I'll show you that at the end of the video, what all I got in there, what I think you should use, what you need. So let me get my data all squared away. I'll get majority of these all powder charged until the last two, how I do it, and then we'll go into the bullet seating. Alright, so this is how I have my powder charger set up. I'm testing out this scale here. Seen it online, people say it's great, whatever. So I want to test it out. This is an old cheap one that I've had laying around. I do have an RCBS Chargemaster over there. So these are just blinking loads, so I'm not too worried about it. But you do have to make sure and be careful for the drift. Now I don't know if it's because it's cold down here or my light bulb, the ambient light, that does seem to affect the scale sometimes. I don't really notice it too much on my RCBS Chargemaster, but on these two I am noticing a little bit of drift, so that's why I got both of them on right now. And I'm tearing 96.98 and 97. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go from here and then go there to test both. See, this one already drifted 0.28. This is where I can't stress enough, get a good scale. I mean, this is a really frustrating part about reloading. I'm thinking it's something in my room that is making them drift with these little scales, because I had Frankfurt Arsenal and it did the same thing. So I mean, yes, let's see what it does over here. Alright, seems to be holding off pretty good over here. Let me move some of this stuff over here. Maybe it's the mat that's causing it. Because I did it upstairs on my kitchen table and it didn't drift or anything. So let's move you over here. See, let's do both. Can't really see. Well, you can a little bit. Let's get you in closer then. that being said, let's just get the charge going. So this is what I do. Oh, too much. Just trickle the rest. We'll do 3.62. 3.68. 66. Still staying at 97. See? So I hate little scales. See? Just change to grain. So far this is holding. So we'll go with that one. You always want to check when you tear and you take the pan off that weight right there, the minus, stays the same. If it changes, then your scale is drifting. So we'll get rid of this guy here. That's way too much of a drift. Plus I want to keep using this one. If it keeps drifting, I have to get a different scale. This is the annoying part for reloading. .6. That looks good to me. We got 97. Like I said, as long as that 97 right there doesn't change a whole lot, you'll be alright. If it changes a lot, then yeah, you might want to recheck it. Recalibrate it or something. It's still at 97. See, right there. It just changed. 96. See, I don't understand. It's fucking little scales. Got one more. Look at that. 97, 36. So that's how I powder charge. But like I said, you need a good scale. I don't know what the deal is. If it's just being in my room, it's cold, because it's always cold down here. I use this exact same one upstairs, and it was warm, and it worked just fine. But I've had similar issues with these little ones like this downstairs in the basement, and there really is no air. But my RCBS doesn't seem to be affected too much. That is behind us. So I mean, maybe it just changed. Maybe it's something to do with being down here with these little ones. So next, hopefully I don't see that drift at the range. And if I do, then I guess I'll just have to pre-powder drop out of my Charge Master, put them in these little tubes right here, and then reload. So, but for the sake of the video, we'll move on to bullet seating. Alright, we're at the seating die step, or the seating die to seat the bullets. So these are the bullets I'm going to be using, 147 grain XTPs. I'm going to try to get a load going for my suppressor. So my case overall length is going to be 1.100. That's what the load data says. You can do a little bit longer as long as it plunks into your barrel. But I'm just going to stick with this just so that way all three of my barrels cycle just fine, because I have 3 barrels for my Glock 19. So start with inserting the next breech lock bushing. Like I said, I have one for each die. I got one for my expander die, my full length sizing die. Now I'm going to do my bullet seating die. So this, same as all the other ones, screw in until it touches the shell holder. Gotta back that out more. Right there. And then it says touch the shell holder and back it out 3 full turns. So I have these marked for that reason, so it's easier to do the full turns. So 1, 2, 3. And just hold, screw in the lock ring, and snug it up, and we're good. You back out your seating die. Now what you want to do, you can put all the bullets on there or just do one at a time, doesn't really matter. Grab that guy there. You backed out the bullet seating die. Barely made any contact. So like I said, I got the lines right there to give us indication. So I'm just gonna do right there to start off with. Pull it out. Like I said, I was going for 1.100. I know this is way too long still. 1.178. Now, the key to setting your bullet seating die, leave that one alone, and then do another one. I'm gonna do one full turn, then do another case. That's the key of setting up the bullet dies, the seating dies, because you keep doing the same case, you're going to get a different variation when you do another case with the case mount has already been, you know, worked a lot, like 3 or 4 times, setting the seating depth for this one. You're working the case already to where it's getting looser every time, but every time you grab a new case, it's like you got them sized. 1.124, so that looks like the full revolution did, what was it, 1.180, 40, somewhere right around in there. So let's do a quarter. Let's do a different case, and then what you do once you got your depth set, then you go back to do the other cases. .111, do right there. Trust me, I'm doing the seating die this way. It'll save you a big headache. I even do that on my single stage. I do that on all my seating dies. 1.103. Now let's do one more at that setting, see what it does, because it is going to vary here and there. .100. There's those two. Let's do one more. .102. So I mean, we can do maybe just a little tweak. Get this one set. And it will vary case to case. I mean, the bullets are not that perfect, but as long as you get it to where you're very close, you should be all right. We'll do one more after being resized, and then we'll go back and do the ones that we already did to set the die, and then we're good. Then we'll go into the Crimp die. Yeah, we'll go with this seating, this adjustment here, and we'll go to these, finish these off. But yeah, see, that's why I always do one, adjust, and then put that one aside and do the other ones, because it'll give you an actual adjustment for each one for the case mount. Because once you start working the same one, then you're just gonna, you know, it's gonna push the bullet in the case a lot easier because you already worked the case mouth. So when you do actual virgin, you know, resized brass, every time you seat and adjust, you're gonna get the same, similar to the same case overall length every time you do a new piece. That's why you do one, put it down, adjust, next one. See, you'll get good seating. The adjustment would be done quick. Then you just go back and do the ones that you used to get to your final case overall length. It's that simple. Like I said, I do these to all my seating dies, whether it be rifle, pistol, whatever. I do the same thing. And I get the same results. Got that. See? There you go. So the seating is done. So now we got to take this guy off. This is already set for these bullets for that seating. Now we gotta push this in. Grab your other breech lock. Set that guy in. Got the crimp. Screw the die until it touches the show holder. And that's it for that. We'll screw this in until it touches. Oh. Lock the ring in. All right, now we got to back out the crimp. To put the crimp in, you got to back that out with the loaded round. Stick the guy in there, hold it shut, screw this in until you feel it make contact, which is there. And that should be good. And it says, then move the cartridge out slightly, do half a turn. But let me mark this so I know my halves. That's tight. I mark this every time, but it always wears off. So that, back it out a little bit. Do half a turn. Now crimp. That looks all right. Drops right in. But let's give it just a little bit more. Right there, just for good measure. There you go. See, this is why I say don't flare too much, because you will feel it when you go on the upstroke. The case right here, if you flared it too much, will grab right there. When you do it to where you could barely put the bullet on there, but it's holding it, it's perfect. No issues. It's that simple. And we just reloaded some 9mm 147 grain XTPs. Now my next video, I'll probably add it on this one too. I'll go to the range, shoot these that you see me load, and then I'll load some while I'm there just to make sure they grouped good. Write my data down, and then we'll be good. There's 15 147 grain XTPs, and they should all plunk. And I do have my other block barrels. This is my agency. As long as they drop right in. This is what I mean. You don't have to use a case gauge because they're not always perfect. You can use your own firearm as long as it plunks in. You're good, because if you were to use, it wasn't sized or anything like this, so you kind of feel resistance a little bit. Or if you don't got the seating, it's too far or too long or whatever, it won't drop in all the way. But 9mm are really forgiving, especially being Glock barrels. So I'll test my regular one, my factory OEM. Okay. Slides right in. No issues. So there's all that. Now, we got those loaded. Got my 3 dies. Let me take this guy off. Get the plate off. Just put this for storage so it stays where I want it. Now I'm going to show you the kit that I have put together for when I go out to the range. So let me get this situated here. I'm gonna work with this scale a lot more. I just don't know if I trust it yet. So the nice thing about with these bushings is they fit in the box still. That is perfect. So, show you my little carrying case that I got going on. I wish I could find a bigger cigar box or something to use, but I just have too much in there already. So here's the 15 we loaded. Put that to the side. Let me get the box real quick. Or the case. So what I did, I got a DeWalt drill case, and I drilled out all the internal inlet or whatever for where the drill goes on both sides, so it's all empty. So I can put just foam that I found laying around the house that I got from work. So as you can tell, I cut it all out and everything. So let me move the camera up a little bit more. So that's what I did with that. So I put foam on each side. Now what I do is set my press there, and as you can see, I had my dies right here. So these are the 9mm. This is what I'll be taking tonight. I cut a little slot here. This is the powder that I used, and then a scale. But like I said, I recommend a good scale. If you can find a good one that doesn't drift or figure out why it's drifting, and you'll be all right. I got my powder scoops, got my priming, and I got that one installed there so that way it stays in place. I got a deburring and primer pocket cleaning. Do that right there. Now I got a little loading block. I always want a little loading block. Put that guy there. Now this is what I was talking about, using little pliers for when you have a really hard breech lock. You set that on the bottom, then you twist it. Comes off easier if you can't do it with the fingertips, if you don't got good grip strength. So, and then the bullets. This is just a box that I have for my 6.5. These are my 38s, 357, Keith style bullets, the hollow point, and the regular full slug, gas check, powder coated, 358. So you can obviously put whatever bullet you want in there. I just did that case because it's bigger. Then you got your primers. And then your pan for the powder. I do recommend a trickler. I mean, you see me using it. You put a little bit and then you just barely do it. Done in no time. Get your funnel. I set that guy right there. And then I got a little shot glass or whatever for scooping, but I don't think I'm going to put this in here anymore. I don't think I need it, so we'll get rid of that guy because I can just take the scoops out of this guy here. And that's pretty much it. Oh, calipers. Gotta have calipers. It is a must. So you got your calipers, your scoops, the press, your dies, the powder, priming assembly, deburr, chamfer, primer pocket cleaner, your scale, bullets, primers, the pan, your little loading block. This is just, if you have good grip strength, finger grip strength, you're fine, you don't need it, but every now and then I get some that I screw on there too hard and I can't get off. Your dies. Now I'm thinking about maybe cutting out the other foam underneath here so I can have two when I go and reload. Your funnel, and then you got your trickler, and then I use this just so when I gotta clean out the excess powder in the bottom because it likes to stick sometimes. So, but I mean, got the whole range kit right here, all that right there. You can reload. If you wanted to, you can just substitute them bullets for these ones and close it up. I mean, yeah, it's not as discreet or whatever. People are gonna steal whatever they want to steal if they see some tools, DeWalt, or a case. So I just figured this is more durable, like, and holds everything in place. So we got our 15 that we loaded using everything we got in here. I'll be testing these out in the range later today, hopefully, and we'll go from there. If you like this kind of videos, just let me know. I also do have my Lee loaders, and I already made a video on this one if you want to check it out, and range video. I reloaded in here, did the video, shot that group, took that same brass, reloaded it on the field, and then shot the same group again. So, because that's what I don't see a lot of people doing. They show the demonstrations how to reload it, but they never show how good it groups or how good it performs. So that's my goal, is to provide stuff that, you know, good content, videos on how to do it, but also show the results. That's my biggest thing, showing the results on how you're doing. You know, not just say, this is what I do, and then you go shoot, and you do how they do it, and it actually shoots like shit. So this is my process. This is what I'm doing. I will provide more videos on how to do this. Download data. So we'll go from there. Next video you see, I'll show you out in my private range, indoors. Hopefully it's just me, so I can record, and we'll go from there. Have a good one.